Who's to blame here? The Pokemon Company or HEROZ? What's good? It's your boy Rico. And no, we had some devastating news yesterday. You don't really need to go over what is happening. We all know, we're all aware. But I do have some questions. And to first and foremost, I'm not trying to put the blame on anybody. I don't know what's going on. I just have a couple questions. I want to run them by you guys. I want to ask your thoughts and opinions. And above all, I just want clarity and some closure of what's going on. So I haven't even opened the app. Well, actually, I have the app open. I just barely opened it. That's why you hear the background music. But I haven't even looked at the figures or anything like that. I don't even really I do want to play the game, but I don't. And I don't know how I feel about Pokemon Masters now too, and we're gonna find out why. But I will probably stream. I mean, we have 3 months, but I probably will stream tomorrow, and we'll go over all the figures and all that stuff. But like I said, today I just want to talk about some questions that I have. So I want to show you guys this Reddit post that I want to talk about. This is by Sheoshint. Title is, "This isn't shutting down because of HEROZ. It's shutting down because of the Pokemon Company." That's an important distinction. Let's kind of go over what he's saying. "Some suit from the Pokemon Company realized having 2 hardcore competitive player bases would hurt profits from the bigger cash cow, that cash cow being Pokemon Masters, the new game from DNA. If you think about it, Pokemon has been marketing this game so much, they're hyping it up so much. So I can kind of see what he's saying here as far as Pokemon Masters being the cash cow, even though the game is not even out. I mean, Pokemon Duel is the second highest grossing mobile Pokemon game out there. Well, actually, I think it's the third. There's Pokemon Go. No, it's Pokemon Duel. No, it might be third. I can't remember which one is second, but it's either second or third, at $32 million. But the more people playing Masters, the more the competitive players will engage in its loot boxes. Pokemon Masters does have loot boxes. You can spend X amount of dollars for gems. I think the most you can spend is $80, kind of like how Pokemon Duel was. And you guys know Pokemon Duel now has the player pass. There are no giant, well, actually, I don't know if there are giant purchases. Well, there are purchases in Pokemon Duel, in purchasing gems, but they don't really do anything for the game anymore. So you're definitely going to generate more money playing Pokemon Masters. It's a snowball effect. As more whales spend more money on it, the more whales that will eventually show up because they will feel justified in spending that money. To that effect, having 2 separate player bases for what they deem a similar game type, which is so wrong on many levels. But remember, business suits don't actually play games. They just stare at KPI graphs all day. And KPI graphs, that's just your key performance indicator. It's essentially how companies track how they're measure how they're hitting their targets. It's counterproductive and will affect profits, which he's right. Think about it. If you have 2 games that have loot boxes, one being Pokemon Duel, where the majority of the money, the majority of the cash flow is coming from the player pass, which is what, $17, whereas in Pokemon Masters, it comes from the sync pairs. If you do the sync pairs, if you purchase the $80 gems and you can unlock all of these sync pairs, where's the majority of the money going to come from? It's going to come from Pokemon Masters. And thus, here we are, Pokemon Duel shutting down abruptly. It kind of seems obvious HEROZ wasn't informed on this decision until very recently, and that, I mean, it's very compelling because, I mean, if you look at HEROZ and you go to their Twitter, they didn't really mention, if you're gonna do something, you think that they would take responsibility for it. But if you take a look at their tweets, it doesn't seem like they're really taking responsibility for what's going on. We deeply thank you for your participation. I think that's what it means, and apologize for this information. For details, check the in-game announcement. Then they also had this tweet. Thank you for using Pokemon Co-Master. We started distribution from April 12, 2016 and continued to operate under the support for everyone. But unfortunately, and it shows when it's going to end, and having the service terminated. It doesn't necessarily say, hey, we are doing this. But if you go to Cerebi.net, this is where you get all of the Pokemon news. The Pokemon Company have announced that the mobile game Pokemon Duel will cease October 31st. And even when you go to the Pokemon websites, they use we, like, to express our thanks for this game. We've added a bunch of extra things. So it seems like Pokemon is taking responsibility for the ending of this game. Let's continue on with this post. Me, as someone who was planning to play both games, I changed my mind. I don't accept being manipulated like this. I don't accept them shutting down a game me and all of the community here loved to pieces. We really did, man. It's disrespectful to us, and I am boycotting Masters. Anyone reading this, it's up to you if you will end up supporting that game, but I wanted to bring to your attention that Masters is very likely the reason Pokemon Duel is gone, because even though its community is small, it's quite dedicated, and there's quite a lot of people who spend a good amount of money here, and that money, in the opinion of the Pokemon company, would be better spent in the upcoming game to create the snowball effect, which, like I said, it's a very compelling argument, because more people are going to be spending more money on Pokemon Masters, which, I mean, the Pokemon company is still going to be profiting if they keep Pokemon Duel around, because Pokemon Duel gets a cut, or Pokemon Company gets a cut from Pokemon Duel, and they get a cut from Pokemon Masters. Now, here's the question, though. Like, HEROZ, and I don't know how this works. When you have your publisher and you have your developer, where does the majority of the money go to? Like, does HEROZ get 80% of the profits and 20% go to Pokemon? I have no idea how that works. And maybe Pokemon Duel was taking a bigger cut than Masters was. I'm not sure about that. So it kind of seems like everything is pointed towards the Pokemon Company. But let's rewind it a little bit. Let's go back to when we made the video on the forecast for HEROZ. We stumbled across this back in June. This was posted on Reddit as well. I can't remember who posted, but this was June 2019. And it's the business overview. It's the 2019 full year performance, the 2020 forecast, and the growth strategy. And when I look back on this, what I noticed that was kind of weird is that when it lists the entertainment companies that they do business with, the Pokemon Company isn't even on here. So that might have raised some red flags. I mean, they have Bandai on here, but they don't have Pokemon. Like, Pokemon is a huge franchise. I don't know why they didn't have Pokemon. But if we look at the business to consumer, they mentioned Shogi Wars has remained cash cow backed by organic increase of paid users. So Shogi Wars, in terms of entertainment, is what's keeping that side afloat. I mean, they list Pokemon here, but how do they get their money? Monthly memberships. That's why we had the player pass. So if you look at their sales for this year, business to business, they had a 120% increase in business to business sales, and that's because their initial setup fees. Like, the majority of their money comes from business to business, whereas Pokemon Duel, it's business to consumer. And you can tell. And if you look here, it says they did negative 10% respectively on a year-to-year basis. Revenues from business to consumer services decreased due to no revenue contributions from several unprofitable services terminated during the previous fiscal year. However, revenues from Shogi Wars increased during the fiscal year. So this is just further pointing to signs that Pokemon Duel hasn't been doing well. And something they also mentioned towards the end of it, they mentioned a new game, like for 2020. What their focus is on. Their focus is in finance and construction, and in the entertainment area, they're focusing on Xenozard. It's like a new game. So if you look at from HEROZ perspective, they have their hands in so many different avenues of business, and the majority coming from business to business. So their construction, their finance, and they're doing a little bit of entertainment, but in the entertainment, they're only focusing on the Shogi Wars and then possibly the Xenozard. So that is why I was feeling like, Pokemon Duel isn't getting that much attention. That's why our updates are kind of, lackluster, and why the game just never really fully took off. So here's the question again. Who do we blame here? Pokemon, the Pokemon Company, or Pokemon Duel, or HEROZ? In my eyes, I blame HEROZ for Pokemon Duel being the way it is, but I don't blame them from a business perspective. If Pokemon Duel is not making money, and it's costing them more money to keep this game afloat, maybe they did sell, and that's what I proposed in the last video on this content here, I was like, I hope that HEROZ sells Pokemon Duel to another developer, because look at other games. Look at like Fortnite. What does Epic do? Epic focuses on one game, Fortnite. Look at Niantic. Niantic focuses on Pokemon. Like, they had the Ingress game, I think that's what it was, and then Pokemon Go, and now they have Wizards Unite. But HEROZ is in so many other things, and it's not even just in gaming. Like I said, it's in finance and construction. So maybe Pokemon Duel or HEROZ, maybe they did sell to the Pokemon Company. Maybe they did, they realized they were getting the majority of their money from business to business and in entertainment. It was Xenozard and Shogi Wars. So maybe they're like, you know what? It's not worth it for us. Let's just sell the game. Let's just sell it to Pokemon. And then once they sold it to Pokemon was like, hey, we got this new game coming out. We got Pokemon Masters. Maybe it is better to have our cash flow, our revenue stream coming from one specific area, and that being Pokemon Masters. Because again, you're gonna make more money with everybody going to Pokemon Masters opposed to Pokemon Duel, where the only way the only way they're making money is from the player pass. Now, what I don't want to do is I don't want to focus on the negativity of what's going on. I want to look forward on what we can do and look forward to what the future is for us, the community, and Pokemon Duel. But I did want to bring to your guys' attention, what are your thoughts and opinions on this? Do you think it's the Pokemon Company? Do you think it's HEROZ? Do you blame HEROZ? Do you blame Pokemon Company? I mean, try to look at it from a business standpoint and not just an entertainment standpoint. So here's what we have to look forward, guys. If you did not know, Reckless has made a petition to sign. It looks like we've already have 300 people sign. I'm definitely going to sign right now. And what is this going to do? This is just going to show that we care. It's just going to show that we care for this game. Wait, 300? I thought I said 305. Okay, so it's still continuing to go up. But it's going to show that we care. It's going to show that this, is going to affect a lot of people. What else is going on is in Discord from Pokemon Duel, they have talked about developing a Pokemon Showdown style simulator for Pokemon Duel. So take a look at this post. How many people would be interested in developing a Pokemon Showdown style simulator for Pokemon Duel? By developing, I mean that you are willing to contribute code art for an open source program. React with this. 34 people have reacted to this. If you guys don't know what Pokemon Showdown is, it's Pokemon Showdown, just to like the gist of it is, Pokemon Showdown is a Pokemon battle simulator. Play Pokemon battles online, play with randomly generated teams, and build your own fully animated. So like, I think if we really get this off, this is going to be good for everybody, because what it does is it puts everybody on a level playing field. You have access to any figure you want and any chain that you want. That's how Pokemon Showdown is. You select, like, first of all, you're going to go to your ladder. You're going to do random battles, Ubers, and then you'll select whatever Pokemon you want to use, and you'll go on an online battle. So, I mean, they can even set up tiers for Pokemon Duel. You can have, like, your 3-2-1 haul. You can, like, those 3 commons, 2 rares, 1 EX. You can have your uncommons haul or tier. You can have your rares or below tiers. Like, this will be such an awesome thing if we get this off and going. And I hope we do. Like, I really, really hope we do. So to conclude is, like, I do feel manipulated. And I don't know how I feel about playing Pokemon Masters now. Like, Pokemon Masters is so fun. But at the same time, it makes me, like, not even want to invest any sort of money into it, because it can just be ripped and taken apart from me in 3 years when the new Pokemon mobile game comes out. Like, I'm scared to spend money on it, and it makes me not even really want to play it. So, we have 3 months left, guys, and this community is so great. Like, it's honestly one of the best. Like, I've invested the past 3 years of my life into this, and a lot of it, like, the community is so close. Like, we all know each other. Like, when you play in League, chances are you know who you're playing against. I want to keep this community alive. We have 3 months. Let's just focus on the things we can control and things we can't control. The things that we can control is definitely this Pokemon Duel simulator. I hope this gets off. and running. This petition, I mean, if we get enough people, we've signed a petition before, you know, with the one that K-Dub made, and it was brought to their attention, and I think because of that, things changed. Who knows what's going to happen here? You know, the Pokemon Company, financially, it's probably best not to have Pokemon Duel, but maybe this petition can get maybe some other developer interested in doing it, you know, and doing it better. And I don't know, but then again, you have to think, like, with 2 games coming out, even they're not necessarily competitors because all profits are going to Pokemon, but I don't know, man. All we can do is look forward, like I said, to the things we can control and just hope for the best. So these next 3 months, guys, let's make it the best. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. Let's go over the figures, and just please let me know your thoughts and opinions on where do you think we should go from here. I'm going to leave the links to the petition. Please sign that, and then also Pokemon Duel's Discord. If you're interested in doing the Pokemon Duel Simulator, please let them know you're interested. But I'm going to cut the video there, man. Until then, I'll probably see you guys tomorrow. Peace.